What's going on YouTube? Taylor Prentice, TV Money, whatever you want to call me. And today I'm here with another video, and this video is going to be on MIDI tips and tricks in Logic Pro. This should be a pretty short video, and it should be pretty straightforward. So let's just go ahead and get right on into it. So I'm going to play you guys this loop that I made, which actually I used one of my MIDI tricks in it. Alrighty, so this first MIDI trick, all these are really easy, by the way. This first one you could definitely do manually, but it's a little quicker, I found, to just do it this way. So you're going to want to highlight the notes that you want to be affected. You're going to want to right click, and you can transpose them up, transpose them down, but this is where you find that. Just highlight your notes, right click, and then they're there. So what I did for the second 4 bars of this 8-bar loop was transpose them up, which is what I just did. But yeah, it's a super easy trick if you guys don't really know what to do, how to finish a loop. You want to make like an 8-bar loop. You only have 4 bars. You don't know what to do. That's what I usually end up doing. Sometimes it can sound a little wonky though if you end up going too low in the octaves or too high. So be careful with that. Just make sure you're using your ears and paying attention to how it sounds and not just that you did something. So hopefully it sounds better. But all right, I'm going to switch instruments for these next tricks because I've noticed they don't work super well on that guitar sound because I was trying to do them earlier and it didn't really sound the way I wanted them to, or like sound clear enough for you guys to notice these differences. So I'm going to switch to this little arpeggiator that I've made, and it's the same thing. You're going to want to highlight all the notes, but this is actually going to be a different way of getting to your MIDI transformations. So you're going to want to go to Functions, MIDI Transform, and then you've got this whole little list of little tips and tricks that you can do to spice up your melodies, your loops, whatever you're making at the time. As long as it's in MIDI, these transformation effects will work. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a couple of them. I don't want to show you all of them because it'll end up taking a lot of time, but you guys should definitely just sit down someday and play with them and go through them because some of them are really useful. And the first one I'm going to show you is crescendo. This one's really good for transitions, like building up into something. And it comes up with a couple parameters. Most of them are usually velocity. For this, I'm going to just set my bottom parameter at 40. And the top number is going to be what it starts at. So if you want the higher velocity at the beginning, so like you want it to get soft, you want it to go from louder to softer, you're going to want your first number to be higher. But I want it to get quieter to louder. So 40 is going to be my starting velocity, and 127 is going to be my peak velocity. And I've got all my notes highlighted, so I'm just going to click select and operate. And as you can tell here, they change colors. So for all the beginners out there, most of you guys probably know this, but if you don't know this, purple is the lowest velocity. It goes purple, blue, green, yellow, orange, and then red is going to be your peak velocities, just so you guys know if you didn't know that beforehand. But here's what this loop sounds like now. So yeah, a pretty cool little effect that you can just go ahead and slap on there if you want something to give that build-up feeling. I was looking for a way to do this for a long time, and it was right in front of me, and I never saw it. So I thought I would show you guys that one first. But let's go ahead and show you guys a couple more of them. Actually, I'm going to switch back to the guitar for these next two. And I'm going to highlight everything in here so you guys can hear it throughout the whole loop. So the double speed and the half speed are really, really cool. Same thing, highlight all your notes, select and operate. Alrighty, and the next one I'm going to show you is the half speed, and I'm going to actually have to do it twice because I did the double speed before, so I got a half speed and then half speed again to show you guys what the original half speed effect would do. So here it is. So yeah, a really quick way to spice up your sounds, spice up your loops, your transitions, whatever you're making. A lot of these tips and tricks are really going to help. The humanize one is really cool too. There's the random velocity. I've noticed the humanized is a little bit more controlled than the random velocity, so I prefer to use it in most instances when I'm looking for some sort of random velocity to give it that human feel. A lot of times with like, especially like pianos, that's something I'll do is use the humanize function. Yeah, none of the other ones I really use, but I'm sure you guys could probably find a use for them. So definitely make sure to check them out. And I hope you guys learned something from this video. Obviously, it's pretty straightforward and it's nothing crazy. But if you guys learned anything from this, I would really appreciate it if you could give a like and a subscribe. That would be awesome. And if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. Or hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. I'm kind of bad about getting back to people on there, so a comment might be your best way. But anyways, catch y'all later.